not just me today. Hello, online crew. I have a special guest with me today. You may know her, you may have met her before. Her name is Miss Laurie Endress, and she is otherwise known as the Hot Mess Express, basically. But there's a reason why I brought Laurie on the screen today, because I want her to give you her perspective on something. Because when I say it, I know you guys sort of look at me and go, yeah, or receive information about me. But when you hear it from somebody else, sometimes the message just sinks in a little bit better. Now, what am I talking about today? I am talking about one of the answers that I know will help improve your results in your business. And you may even know it, but you might just need to sort of hear it again. And I know something that's helped me in my business over the over the years is having somebody in my corner to work with me, to guide me, to kick me up the bum. I've got lots of that over the years. Sometimes you need somebody who sees things that you don't, and you need to work closely sort of with them. So why am I sharing this? The reason why I'm sharing this is for you guys to really think about what it is that is going to take you to the next level. And a lot of you don't see what you don't see. You don't know what you don't know. And that's why you need to have something like a mentor or a program or something to help guide you. So I do want you to listen. And I know some of you are like, oh, who was the guest? You jump on and go, oh, it's only Laurie. We'll jump off. Don't. So some of you might be familiar with Laurie. It's like, oh, yeah, we know who she is. That's not that exciting. It is exciting. Because I really want you to hear what she has to say about, one of the things that's helped her grow into the person that she has, get results in her business like she has, and just basically be a different person. So let's have a chat. If you are joining us live, please say hello. Say hello to Laurie. How many of you know Laurie? Maybe you haven't seen her before at all. Like, let us know. Also, let us know what you know about Laurie.
Oh no!
Yeah. You might not like what you see. But I want to sort of share with you, like Laurie and I have been working together for a few years. Laurie is not the same person. I can say that for a shadow of a doubt. She's not the same person that she was a few years ago, because just the language, she used to drive me nuts with what would come out of her mouth. I'll be honest with that, because she used to think she was not worthy of really anything. And who's going to listen to me? And I'm not good at that. And and she wouldn't even hear what she was saying about herself until I pointed it out. And this is what I really want you to listen to, what Laurie is saying today about the importance of basically, you don't know what you don't know. And some of you are not open to learning what you don't know, or investing in mentorship, or looking or working with a mentor, because you just look at things at a cost instead of an investment. Like if you're still in the same place that you've been in for weeks and months, but in saying that, you have to do the work. Like, there's no silver bullet here. You have to want to change and get results in your business to really grow. But Laurie has worked with me closely for a few years. And as I said, she's even to the point of being part of our 50% of our online crew concierge team. So you may or may not know her for that. And what that is Laurie and Beth Frederick. I work closely with both of those people to help me in my community. Sometimes they answer your messages. They'll do some posts for me in the groups. They'll help keep an eye on things for me. So, they've proved themselves to me. So I give them sort of opportunities, if you like. So that's the extent. And some of you, if you really take it on board and you grow and you prove yourself, opportunities will come your way. They really will. And that's what's happened with Laurie. So, Laurie, for those of you that don't know you first, until we get into, learning a little bit more about what you think's helped you improve you and grow over the years. tell us a little bit, those that don't know you, tell us just a little bit about yourself, your background, why are you online, what are you doing? Just a little bit about yourself.
Okay. Hi. So, I'm 62, and I love telling people that because I don't feel like I look like I'm 62. But
You
anyway,
don't act like a 62-year-old
no,
either. I'm not sure what a 62-year-old should act like, but it's like you're 40 or something.
I know. No, I refuse to grow up. But anyway, my husband and I live in Tennessee. We are currently full-time RVers, that's fixing to change, and I'm so excited. But I spent about 23, 24 years in the medical field. I worked in the lab at hospitals, clinics, plasma centers, just all medical. And it's it's 2015. And my husband and I had one of those conversations about how we're going to pay the bills and realizing that we didn't have enough time left to fix it. We couldn't work anymore, and we couldn't do more than what we were already doing. And what we were doing was not going to retire us. They were going to like punch our card at work and then take us to the hole. So me being the female and the emotional one, I freaked out, and my thought was, and I get that from my dad, is there's got to be a way to fix this. I mean, there has to be something that I can do. So I went looking, and that's basically how I wound up working online. And that was in 2015 with the first company that I was with. That was not a good experience. For all intents and purposes, I should have walked away. But in the meantime, during that first business, I came across Helen and her social media strategies group, and it just resonated with me. And I think even back then, I don't know that you said it as much, being a human before a marketer, but that's what I got. And I did not want to be spammy. I did not want to be that person, So fast forward, and I was thinking today, it's been at least 4 years, probably a little over 4 years since I've been in the VIP program. It was your very first one.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, I'm not even sure where to start. I always thought I was the positive one in my family. My mom is very negative. She doesn't mean to be. That's just, kind of the generational whatever. But I always thought I was the positive one until I ran into Helen, and oh my Lanta. Every time I opened my mouth, it was like, Lori, watch your words. And that was the first huge learning curve for me, was realizing what I was putting out there.
So did you have any awareness? Like, I remember your language, and I remember your outlook, and I remember the way that you thought of yourself and the way that you spoke about yourself. And it was like, this woman is never going to build a business successfully talking like that. And, do you, the person that you are today versus the person, like, do you even remember that person back then?
I do remember her. And one particular conversation that I remember very clearly was I was the operations supervisor for a plasma center in Victoria, Texas. And I absolutely hated my boss. I hated the job. I worked stupid hours. And the operations supervisor was in charge of everything from the front door to the back door. I mean, employees, donations, everything. And when I look back on that now, I did that job.
Mm-hmm.
I did that job. But I remember the conversation between you and I told you that I was not a good supervisor. I didn't know how to supervise people. I didn't know how to manage people. I didn't know how to talk to them and, not be all buddy friends with them. But I excelled at that job. So looking back on that now, I didn't see that at the time. So, yeah.
So what would you say, like, you've gone through this journey of working with me for a few years, and you are not the same person. No one's perfect. I don't think anyone ever arrives. We're always all still growing. But what I see with working, and I've got my mentors as well, I don't see things that they do.
Yeah.
And you need those people in your corner. You don't see, every one of you watching, there's things that you're doing online in your language, habits that you've got, that until you work closely with somebody who's a few steps ahead of you, having a bit of success that you want, or somebody that you look up to, until they point things out to you because you're working with them closely, you just don't know what you don't know. How would you explain that from your side of the fence? Because I know through working with students, particularly in the VIP program, and I look at their work and it's like, well, and they're like, oh, I didn't even realize that. Or, yeah, you're right. Or, yeah, you're right. I am hiding behind this. Or, oh, I didn't realize that. Like, to me, working with somebody closely speeds up the things that you don't see, because you don't see them. You don't know what you don't know. And that's why you work with a mentor. So What would you have to say about that and our experience with working together with the things about not only your personality, but your social media, your language, follow-up, conversations? Have I ever said to you, what would you say that for? Or on the flip side of that, you'd say to me, here's another, and I know I'm jumping around a bit, but this is where I love working with people, is when Laurie might send me a question and say, oh, this is what's going on, and I think I would say this. And I would say to her, I could give you the answer in what I would say, but I want you to tell me what you would say before I'm going to tell you what you would say. She'd come back with something and I'd say, see, you don't need me. Fly. So it sometimes you need a mentor in your corner to help you realize you've actually got more skills, or you've grown, or like trust yourself, back yourself, get more confidence. So it can work both ways. It can work both ways in, what the hell are you doing that for? Or why would you say that? Like, well, I'm tactful. Please believe me, I am tactful. But, all of that, Laurie, what would you say to both sides of the fence, there?
I think the very first thing I would say is, and I think that's why I would contribute the majority of this to the majority of my growth, both with myself, who I think I am, how I feel about myself, my self-esteem, my business ethics, all of that, is that, and I'm going to try to say this as tactful as possible, but however you did it, you made me believe that you cared enough about me and my success for no gain of your own, but just me, just Nana from Tennessee, that you weren't willing to pussyfoot around with me. We've had some pretty heavy discussions, and those first few were, I mean, if it wouldn't have been for Mike, which again was another outside source looking in to something that I wasn't seeing, I probably would have told you to go pound sand, But Mike would say, just hold up. Let's think about this for a minute, and we would have conversation. And bottom line, I would realize that you were nuts on. You nailed it right there. And I think the thing that contributed to the majority of my growth is that fact right there. You were not afraid to call me to the carpet. You were not afraid to point out the things that, and I've heard you say it over the years, I know that was an uncomfortable conversation, but it was a conversation that needed to be had. Not everybody can do that.
Mm.
And I think you have a tremendous skill at being able to, and I say this with all love, but being able to rip somebody to shreds and they basically say thank you, and and I don't mean that like in a negative way, but it's just there were so many things that that I, like you said, I just didn't see that that's what I was doing. And I don't know, you can't fix it if you don't see it. And unless you have somebody in your corner that A, sees it, is smart enough, trained enough, educated enough to see it, and B, has the heart and the fortitude to tell you, even though it may be very uncomfortable, I mean, that's just a win-win right there.
Yeah, it's hard because, I keep coming back to this term, you don't see what you don't see. And it's not until you work with somebody closely, like a mentor, that they will really start to see. And that comes out through your language, through questions that they ask, through work that you review. And it's not until you work with somebody more closely that it's like, well, hang on a minute, that doesn't make sense. Or do you realize you're not doing this? Or, what's the reason that you're doing that? Or somebody might be growing and you've got to empower them, and give them the confidence. So there have been times where you've asked me a question and I've pushed back. And like I said before, it's like, well, I could give you the answer to that, but you're kind of being a little bit lazy now and relying on me. So what would you say and what would you do? And the best thing for me to do as a mentor with people I work with is to push you to find the answer before I give it to you.
Absolutely.
And that's when I see people learn and grow, is you don't want somebody that gives you all the answers. And I know there's some of you listening that will say, just tell me what to do and I'll do it. Yeah, you could. And yes, people work well that way. And I'm a bit like that. And I remember saying that to my mentor who's earned over $40 million online. I'm just like, tell me what to do and I'll do it. I'm a hard worker. My work ethic is second to none. That's just how I've been brought up and who I am. But when somebody's telling you like exactly what to do, but they're not also mentoring and guiding you along the way, you don't learn for yourself, and you'll slip up somewhere, along the line. But when someone's watching your work, reviewing your work, keeping you accountable every week, having conversations with you, listening to your language, you're on calls with you, constantly, and you're asking questions, that mentor can get to learn what you do well and what you don't, and then can guide you accordingly. It's not until, and I know a lot of you look at like courses or mentorship or working with somebody closely just as an expense.
Yeah.
I see it, and I still invest in mentorship myself. My mentors, my main mentor who's earned over $40 million online still has a mentor. If you are not investing in working closely with somebody to push you, guide you, review your work, keep you accountable, it's going to be a slow process for you. But what I would also say, and I'd love feedback on this, Laurie, is it the silver bullet?
Oh, God. No, because I was thinking I was kind of like that, or a lot like that, just stop with the fluff, whatever. Just tell me what to do. Tell me where it is. Tell me what to do, and I'll do it. But what winds up happening then is, we talk about branding ourselves online. It's who we are. It's not our company. It's our brand. And when you just tell me what to do, where to find it, what to write, how to do it, I'm lost in the mix of all of that. Nobody gets to see me. They get to see Helen Martin through me. And so for you to not give me the answers, not tell me what to say, not be there waiting with a picnic basket with all the answers, forced me to find myself, find my own voice, and be self-sufficient. It's a rare occasion that I will like reach out and ask a specific question, like where to find something or how to do something or what. If I do that, I have exhausted all possibilities and I'm stuck. but I know that it's my responsibility to figure it out. And over the years, having done that, I can do that. I can figure that out on my own.
Yeah.
So
yeah, and I think it's important, like, you know, and we're talking about this in this point in time because my VIP mentorship program is open at the moment for start date on the 1st of October. So you do, and I only open it twice a year. So you do have the opportunity, if you want to learn and grow and have somebody review your work and be accountable every week and, you know, get really stuck into things and have somebody in your corner sort of guiding you, mentoring you and pushing you with love. I'll always do it with love. But I will push you. Like, if you're ready to get results, this may be something you want to look into. Not everyone's going to be a good fit for it, and you need to do the work. Because I can provide all that framework, the guidance, the group, the training, everything you need. But if you don't come to the party and get over your own excuses and do the work, it's still not going to work for you. So it still comes down to the person at the end of the day to want to get you know, the results. But what's happened, because you've got me in your corner and I'm constantly looking at your work and guiding you, whatever, without going into specifics, what's happened in the last 12 hours that I picked up of yours that could go on as a mistake for months?
Oh, absolutely. So I did a TikTok last night, probably pretty close to this time. And bottom line, it was this, you can go check it out, Laurie Andrews online, whatever. But it's this big, nasty, what did she say it was? Somebody told me what it was. It was something cricket, but it was this huge, nasty bug. And I'm making my sandwich in the kitchen and something catches my eye and he's on a ladle that I had sitting there. And so I did this TikTok. It's like, what the hell is that thing? And I even asked in my TikTok, I said, if anybody knows what this is, let me know. You know, I'm curious, whatever. So Helen, you know, just randomly, usually always looking at my stuff, went to comment on it and she couldn't. It said that I had turned off the ability for anybody to comment. And so Helen messaged me and I said, what? No way. I want them to comment. I want to know what that is. Anyway, so I went and checked and sure enough, the comments had been turned off. So turned them back on. I have a few comments now. I found out what it is. And, you know, that could have, and I went back to a few others just to double check. And somewhere along the line, it had gotten turned off. So I had like three TikToks in a row that the comments were turned off. So,
but I want you to think about that for a second. It's just a small thing. But if I wasn't watching Laurie's work and didn't pick up on that, she could go on and on and on and on. And maybe somebody else would have told her somewhere along the line and it'd be picked up. But who wants to go to all the effort of putting social media content out there and you've actually got comments turned off and you're sitting there thinking you're doing a bad job and that no one's commenting on your comment. And it wasn't that at all. It was just there was some kind of technical error. And, you know, it's just such a small thing to mention. But what I want to share with you is when somebody's working with you closely enough to look at what you're doing and give you advice and support and whatever, again, they will see things that you don't see. They will see things in your personality that need picking up on. They will hear things in your language that need picking up on. They will see patterns of yours that they will get calling out. There's somebody on this call right now that I sent a message to yesterday in my VIP program that is like, this is what you need to do. Like, you know, like I will take the time to single you out personally and share messages and look at your stuff and whatever. Like, if you need the guidance, that kind of guidance for your content, your personality, your growth, you know, all those kind of things, then my VIP program might be something that could be beneficial for you. But if you're not going to invest, if you're not going to do the work, don't bother, because it's seeing it, you know, for what it is, but you're wanting to really like have a really good hot crack at your business. So Laurie, for just to sort of finish off, for people, and this is the way most people think, I I don't have the money. I can't invest in that. I'll do that when I've made more money in my business, then I'll invest in something like that. Like as far as mentorship and investing in mentorship to speed up the results in your business, those people are thinking, I can't afford that. Maybe I'll do that in the future. What would you say to that?
Well, when I jumped in the first round that you had, we did not have the money. I mean, I robbed it. We did not pay some bills in order for me to do that. Now I know not everybody is like that, and through the years I've heard other shiny object people like you just find money, make it work, whatever. But the difference for me in this situation was, yes, I did that. I don't know if it was a smart thing to do or not at the time, but I did do that. But I made it a priority for me to invest myself into the investment. And it would have been the wrong decision, hands down, if I hadn't shown up. Because it's not a magic pill. It is not a magic pill. You have to be willing to, oh my gosh, you got to be willing to be uncomfortable and step out. And the biggest thing for me was to take constructive criticism. I always thought I was good at it, but I sucked at it at the beginning. I remember responding a comment back to you once that said, well, that stung.
I remember that. Yeah, you didn't quite.
Why? Yeah. Why does that sting? And I said, well, but I wasn't seeing it as constructive criticism. And now you respond back sometimes way past that, and it's like, okay, yep, I got it. Totally different. So yeah. It's not an expense. It's only an expense if you opt into it and then you don't fulfill your end of the bargain. That's when it's a cost. Yeah. Otherwise, it's an absolute hands down no-brainer investment.
Awesome. So thank you. And, I'm proud of, of everything that you've achieved. And I know when you put your head down and your bum up, like the results have been in your business, you've recruited more people, it's made a difference. When you've had that kind of guidance. So I'm just opening the door. The door's not open for much longer. We start on the 1st of October. If there's anyone that you just want to explore what it is, what it looks like, how much it is, etc., reach out to me personally. Just say, can I have the VIP program details? And we'll see if you've got a good fit, because for some of you, it won't be a good fit. So we just need to explore that. But it only opens twice a year, and it may be something that's really good for you. So just reach out and ask for that information if that's something that you would like to explore, because you're ready. You're ready to learn, you're ready to move, you're ready to grow, you're ready to get some results in your business, and you're willing to invest in that journey, but you've got to do the work. Yeah. So thank you so much for joining me, Laurie. There is a reason why she's 50% of our online crew concierge team, because she's done the work and she's proven herself and she's got those results, and that's open to really anybody. You show up and do the work and opportunities will come your way. So thank you so much, Laurie, for joining me. Any final words in our last kind of 20 seconds?
Just I'm grateful that you took me on way back then and that you stuck with me, because I know I tested your patience. But I'm forever grateful to you, your friendship, your mentoring, and all of that. And I did see Christina Smith ask me what that bug was. It's called a camel cricket. So look at it.
There you go. We'll finish it off on that. It's a camel cricket. Thank you for watching, everybody. We'll be live at the same time tomorrow. And thank you very much, Laurie, for joining me. Catch you soon.
You're very welcome.
Bye.
Bye, guys.